Hello, very good morning from Toronto. This is Hamad Siddiqui. Friday, 10 a.m. is the time when I work with my friend Matthias, and we evaluate some LinkedIn profiles to help our friends on LinkedIn, the family that we have on LinkedIn, to understand how LinkedIn can help them and help them in their growth, in their careers. So without any further ado, I'm just bringing Matthias online. Here you go. Hey, good morning, Matthias. How are you?
Good morning, Hamad. Thanks very much for having me today again. It's a pleasure.
Great, great. Today we announced, as usual, our session in which we will be evaluating profiles for those people who are interested in that free evaluation. But before we go to that level, and we already have people who are sharing their profiles with us on this live. And please, introduce yourself, whoever is with us today, from where are you joining in, and if you want your profile to be evaluated, please share the link of your profile in comment, so it becomes easier for us to pick those profiles. And in the next about 40-45 minutes, we'll try to evaluate as many profiles as possible. But when we do this evaluation, the bigger thinking process that you all should really have is, what would you do next? Once we have evaluated your profile, will you be able to fix those profiles, or are you interested in doing something about it? Because Matthias, you would agree that people would come, like, there was an example, somebody contacted me, uh, like I think about a day before yesterday, and this was the second time he actually contacted me. The first time he contacted me was early 2020, and he wanted to get his LinkedIn profile revamped, like optimized and everything. And he was very enthusiastic about that, and he was like planning to come to Canada and all that. And I quoted, okay, this is my fee, and he agreed to that, but he never came back. Now again, he came back to me with more or less similar questions. I said, so I scrolled down and I could find out those communications. So, I already informed you about it. There's nothing better in your profile. In fact, it has gone bad because you have been inactive for past 1 year. And the other thing is, my fee has increased, so you have to pay more to get it done. So it's the action. It's now. Now is the time, as we always say. If we don't take an action now, then we'll remain the way we are, right? So, what is your take on this taking action now part before we jump into actually evaluating some of the profiles?
Sure. I mean, with all the crazy things going on all over the world right now, we all are struggling in many ways, whether it's job seeking or getting new clients, whatever the situation is. But it means that we also need to change ourselves and readapt ourselves to the new scenario. And this means that we also need to learn plenty new things. And the best way to learn is learn from others, and by connecting, discussing, etc. And the best platform to actually do that is LinkedIn, in my personal view. And LinkedIn offers a whole new world if you really want to be there, and if you really want to learn and stay active and on top of the game. And again, manage yourself in a way that you, yeah, invent, not invent, but you learn what you need to learn to stay ahead of the game. So it's really important that you basically understand that, and that you really need, whatever situation you are in today, that you need to do something today. Don't wait. The time is now.
Absolutely. So we have few people who have commented, and only one person has shared the URL. So anybody who is interested in getting your profiles evaluated, please share your LinkedIn URL link in the comment, because uh, uh, in live I cannot really go onto your profile unless you don't share your URLs for review. So yeah, you rightly said. Someone there will be so many people who keep thinking about it and never take an action, and that is their biggest failure. So anybody with us today, you really need to think. Um, the lack of action is the biggest failure, and often the lack of action is because we don't really know whether it will work for us or not. But the reality of matter is, as you know, Matthias, my clients are all over the world. They are working, like Matias is in Chile, for instance. I've never been to Chile, and he became friend on LinkedIn, and he attended my coaching session, and he takes mentoring from me, and he is a supply chain logistics expert. Now, why on earth he would need a LinkedIn profile if somebody who's already an expert and somebody who's already in the field for so many years? Why did you need it, Matthias, to share with these people? Why did you actually need LinkedIn profile, an optimized LinkedIn profile, after such an extensive work experience? Yeah, please go ahead. And by the way, before you go ahead, please share your LinkedIn profile URLs if you want these profiles to be evaluated. I mean, if you just say, please evaluate my profile, it will not be possible for me to go onto your profile while I'm doing live. So if you share your links, like Umar Bashir has done it, and some other Kabir has done it. Some people have shared their profiles, um, the link of their profiles. I'll be able to do that evaluation for them. But if you don't share your profiles with me, then it will not be possible for us to evaluate. So yes, Matthias, why did you even bother about it?
Uh, First of all, I must say that I'm in my mid 50s. So, from a more kind of general perspective, I might think that I'm too old for the job market, or for uh, yeah, starting a new business myself at this time of my life. But that's absolutely wrong, actually. What you can do is basically take whatever experiences you already have and start learning new things. But how do you do that is the big question. You might try to do it yourself, try to navigate Google search for I don't know, videos or something to read. But in the end, that's not really very effective, because it's always, in whatever field, industry you are, it's always about relations and networks. And who you know in that field or the other field, who's your client, or your peer, or whatever. So LinkedIn really offers a big opportunity there. And I wasn't on LinkedIn. I only joined LinkedIn by the end of 2019. I didn't have a clue about LinkedIn, but everybody kept talking about it. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I will start connecting with people I know offline, and I will see, yeah, what what is it that LinkedIn really offers. But again, I wasn't really aware of the potential and the real thing about LinkedIn.
Yeah, and this is pretty much the case. And now, thank you for sharing your story, and thanks for everybody who's sharing their profiles with us now. This is the way it is. So share your URLs so that we could spot you. And as we go on along in this session, we will continue evaluating it. But just to build it up, just to kind of give you an idea, all the participants, as to why this LinkedIn is necessary, and why Matthias, for instance, came to me and attended my coaching program, um, and how did it actually help him. So my first question, of course, was, Matthias, why did to even bother about it. And you rightly said, age age really does not matter. Your
Yeah.
age can be anything. You can be at entry level, or you can be even in your university or college, and you can start building that relationship, start building that network, and grow and keep growing, because it's not only about finding a job opportunity. It's about learning. It's about continuous growth. It's about some interesting things that happen in our life. And LinkedIn really provides perhaps the only platform where we can actually engage with professionals. So if somebody is an engineer, he can actually like engage in the content which is related to engineering or leadership, right? And we all need that. So just to give you another interesting example, as you know, I spend 10 to 12 hours of my time every day on LinkedIn, engaging with people and helping people, and like coaching people and learning myself. Even with more than 10 years of LinkedIn coaching, I've been coaching for more than 10 years now. I still learn new things because everything
Absolutely.
is evolving. Yeah, absolutely. So learning never stops. It must never stop.
I mean, especially in this scenario, everything has changed and is still changing so fast. There is no way you can keep up unless you are talking to people working in the field and really going through the processes and the new uh, trends and etc. There is no way you can read that in the newspapers or on a magazine. You have to talk to people who are doing that on a daily basis, and this is where you do it.
Absolutely. And so just today I was reading, Riva Gold is one of the LinkedIn's editor. She actually shared an interesting article, and let me just quickly see if I could find that. Um, okay, that's so. Yeah, I mean, I was reading it and I was thinking, okay, this is so great. This is what a fun. I mean, we all think about it, but once you see it with an explanation, then you actually can build up your context around it. So I think everybody knows Jeff Bezos. If nobody knows, if anybody who doesn't know Jeff Bezos, then you don't live in 2021. He's the founder of Amazon. So Jeff actually has is exiting the leadership and Amazon leadership, and this is what happens when you reach to that point. You exit the actual CEO level position and just be there um, as a leader, like not the CEO leader, not the executive leader, but in the board and stuff like that. So anyway, Riva actually talks about Jeff Bezos' strategy in team building and meeting, and he has a rule called two pizza rule. You know anything about this two pizza rule, Matthias? Yeah, no,
No, not
no.
really.
All right. So his two pizza rule is so fascinating. I'm sure a lot of people have 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 probably heard about it, but this is interesting for I'm sure for a lot of people who have not either heard about it or don't really know what it is. So his Jeff Bezos two pizza rule is that if in a meeting the group is bigger than that could be served within two pizzas, that's too big a meeting. So you should keep that meeting, the team meeting, so small that you should actually be able to fulfill and serve these people within two pizzas, and that will be extremely effective way going forward for anybody. And with that, we have Jeff Young joining in. Jeff, thank you very much for joining in. I actually got so inspired with a group that he runs on LinkedIn, and I will share that group with you, Matthias, also join in. This is a great group in which people learn a lot from each other. And there is no promotion. I actually posted something which had some of my branding, and I do that without realizing that the rules of this groups are different. And he came back and he actually asked me to avoid it, which which I really appreciate. So, Jeff, thank you very much for keeping my post there. And I actually offered him if you want to delete it, but he did not. So, thanks for that. You're absolutely right. You know, Jeff, what you rightly said here. Uh, 95, 96% people don't really understand how LinkedIn works, and you have spotted the right thing also. All these people who have their LinkedIn URL shared, they have not changed their default URLs. You're absolutely right. And they don't know what it is, right? They don't know what it means. They don't really know how it works. So that's why um, you need to fix something. So if we don't know it, then we need either we build our capacity or learn and work for work toward the improvement, or find someone who can do it for you. Yeah. So this is what it is. So we have quite a bit of URLs that people have shared. Please keep sharing those profile. Abid, thank you very much. You're just giving him your name. I can't really do anything about it. If you want your profile to be reviewed, please share URL of your profile, and then I'll be able to hit that URL then and there and try to evaluate it for you. And but the longest strategy, long-term strategy has to be what do we do once your profile is evaluated? What do we really want to do with it? So, Matthias, the way we did last time, I will share the URL in your inbox,
All right.
and we will go one by one
Mhm.
as to whoever has shared the profiles with us. And some of you have actually left the live also, so I'm not sure who is with us still, but that's fine. I think our commitment is to evaluate profiles, as many profiles as we can, in during this process. And somehow my computer is misbehaving, so you have to bear with me for a while. While I'm doing it, Matthias, why don't you share your initial experiences with our friends who have joined us, about your initial thought process, and in the past 2 months, what have been your achievements?
Yeah, well, like I was telling before, I started on LinkedIn by the end of 2019 with no strategy, connecting randomly with people here and there, posting some ideas and information. But that didn't take me really anywhere. I did connect with some people, but I didn't really get the best out of LinkedIn by doing that. So in time, I got more interested and started trying to understand how the platform actually works. And I don't know why that happened, but I'm really grateful it happened. I came across a post from you, Hamad, where you were discussing with a very high level supply chain executive, which is Dr. Mudassir. And I watched that one and followed up with you. And in the end, I made a decision to learn more about LinkedIn and learn how it must be done. So basically, I started from restarted my whole LinkedIn journey and took the course, and from there on, I've been uh, improving my profile, improving my presence and my network on a daily basis.
And Matthias is also part of, and all my course participants are automatically, I invite them to become part of my mastermind group, which is LinkedIn Mastermind Group, which the plan is that they should meet once in a month through a Zoom call, which I would organize, and there will be a continuous learning for them related to what is happening, how the algorithm is behaving, their experiences, And interestingly, a lot of people don't really understand that LinkedIn actually is a search engine. It is, they just treat it as their resume, which is not the right concept. And I call a resume as a boring vanilla flavor document, um, and you can read 5 resumes or 10 resumes from one particular industry or experts in one industry, and you will find similar information. So just to give you an example, I have this. I think it was in your group, Kayam, who is the CFO for 3M in Saudi Arabia. And when he spoke to me for the first time, and he really wanted to inquire about the process and everything, he said, what, how will it be different? What will you do with my profile? And I said, this is the most interesting question, because ultimately, if your profile is like any other profile, you will never stand out. So, you have to stand out, and there are certain strategies that you should really be implementing in this process of standing out, so that more people are connected with you, and more people are engaging with your content. More people are recognizing you as a subject matter expert. So just probably one more profile which I'm trying to scroll down and see, and then
But
we will.
Hamad, the thing is that the one has to do the job. I mean, you do the coaching, the teaching, the uncovering of the secrets or the techniques. But as a user, as a LinkedIn member, you have to be the one putting your voice out, positioning yourself as a subject matter expert. You are the one who wants to connect with people. So basically, the one doing the heavy lifting, if you like, is the one who wants to stand out and not, you know,
Yes,
it,
absolutely.
it, it requires a little bit of effort, but
Well, quite a lot of quite a lot of effort. But once you see, it's like I mean, you can't really lift a heavy stone without a lever. So you have to have a lever, and this is what I provide. And Khatija, thank you very much. Khatija is a dear friend from Mississauga in GTA, and she's a branding expert, and she also does some LinkedIn work for immigrants. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for your comment. Absolutely. So you have to be strategic in mind, and you have to really focus on how to move on. So Matthias, you have all these profiles in your inbox, and I will click on the first one, with this Kabir. Kabir joined us straight away as soon as we logged in. So Kabir, thank you very
okay.
much. You work with Coca-Cola in Pakistan, and so your profile, of course, is missing some very basic features, and
Yeah.
obviously with this, uh, the growth will not be the way you want it. Okay,
No
and
posts, nothing.
nothing. Your branding is missing. Your picture is incorrect. Your keywords are just not the right keywords, and your about summary is just too short. Doesn't really give me any excitement, um, and all this is because there is a lack of strategy behind this. And unless you don't have a strategy, unless you don't have that plan in place, and you do things in a very strategic and a very focused manner, the growth will be very challenging. So that's our feedback. You want to add anything? Yes,
Yeah, I agree.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
please go ahead.
no, I was about to say, I mean, it's all about trying to position yourself as a subject matter expert in your field. But no, not only that, you want to position yourself as a person worth knowing and worth talking to and worth connecting with. So
Absolutely.
that's what you want to do. And
Yeah.
to do
And that's
that, you have to really not only talk about what you know, but also show your soft skills and really try to make it a conversation in the end.
absolutely. And one of the key thing is networking. It's not about only you connecting with people, it's about people connecting with you. To
Right.
me, that's more important. So, I mean, as you know, Matthias, for those who follow me, I have grown from 6,000 following to close to 39, well, over 39,000 following in literally 1 year's time or 13 months' time. And they are the followers. So I did not follow them. They are the people who followed me. And obviously, they're getting some value from me. Of course, I know a lot of them are my students, those attended my programs and all that. But a lot of them are not. I mean, I don't have 39,000 students, for instance. So this is how you should really be looking at. And this is, well, just one more message here. Whoever is with us today, we are evaluating these profiles, but whatever message we are trying to convey is for everyone. Yeah, so you all need to be you all need to develop that awareness about this whole interesting thing. So next one is Yasir Bajwa. He is from Dubai. He works for Nestle, again a very big company, large company, and he's highly qualified. Again, it's the same thing. Absolute no idea, no clue what you want to do.
No network at all so
Absolutely. So
far.
you have so really in your position at this point in time, if you don't invest into your growth, and your growth is not only within your own company. So I was coaching 52 CFOs, like from a very global perspective. They were from all over the world. Through this something called Mecca Academy based in the US. So those 52 CFOs absolutely zero knowledge about LinkedIn. And they all were growing, they were okay. But the key thing was that the message from the facilitator was that every 3 to 5 years, people lose jobs. They either leave their jobs or they're forced to leave jobs. Situation arises. That's the global scenario. Now, if you start building your profile up at the time when you have no job, then obviously it does not work that way. You will still be able to do it, but the process of network building, the process of expanding your network and building that trust takes a long time. It does not happen overnight. So if people like you, Yasser, is not really looking at that going forward now, then God forbid if something happens. If you start at that point, your starting point will be near zero. Your starting point now is also near zero. So that's
But
why I think that.
positioning yourself as a trustworthy person, whether you have a job today or not, is gold.
Oh
Because
yeah,
if you have a job right now, clients will most probably do more business with you, or you might get a promotion, or you might get an offer. You don't know,
that's,
but again, it's about you offering your whole set of values and capabilities and knowledge.
yeah.
That's the key.
Absolutely. And next one is Mohammad Vishan. And of course, he also works with a very large company called Bahrain Petroleum Company, based in Bahrain. And I mean, again, what you are sharing, like you have a background picture, but that the background picture is not the branding. It does not mean anything to anyone. If somebody lands on your profile by searching for something, they would see a picture which does not really mean anything to anyone, right? Your your background is, or a cover background, whatever you call it, is your billboard. You should treat it like a billboard, and if you don't treat it like a billboard, it will not really help you in any ways. And again, there is a lack of interest, to somebody who's landing on your profile. Um, and well, anybody wants to book a free consultation on one-on-one with me, they can do that too. Because, like, I mean, if you share it with anyone, you may probably not like it, but as somebody who searched your profile and landed on your profile appears a very non-serious profile, Dishan, and there are certain reasons for that. And again, your about summary is just probably a cut and paste um, from um, from your resume. There is nothing in there. It's too clumsy. And again, there is hardly any activity on your profile. So that's my 2 cents. And then again, you shared your resume. Now think about it. And I always tell people, you haven't shared it in your feature section because probably you don't know there is a feature section also on LinkedIn, but you've shared it in your experience section. Zishan, if you cannot read your own resume on LinkedIn, nobody can.
Nobody will.
Your resume, sharing your resume on LinkedIn has no meaning to anyone. Just before we go further, I would really like to recognize my friend from Nigeria, Victor. And Victor is a financial sector expert based in Nigeria. And with Victor, we are launching Nigeria's first LinkedIn Academy, by the way. So that's in the
Very
process.
good.
So thank you very much,
Congratulations.
Victor, for joining in. And we'll run some live sessions for the community that uh, we have in Nigeria. So you go ahead, and then we will pick more profiles as we go along. You want to add anything to this one, Zishan's profile?
I mean, generally, I just wanted to share with everybody watching this session, never ever share your CV on LinkedIn. That's part of your most valuable asset, and you don't want to show that right away to the whole world. Do it on a more targeted and strategic way, and only with people who are actually asking for your CV.
Yes, and Jeff has just shared a very good post, and this is like very educational post from Sarah Clay. So once the live is over, the comments will stay in this session and on the post, so you can go and look at this one and
Yeah.
and learn from it. So I mean, the process is learning and doing by yourself if you can, and if you can't, then of course, if Telenol doesn't work, then you have to go and see a doctor. So unless Telenol works for you, that's fine, right?
Well, I think this is a very, very good example of how LinkedIn actually works. People putting in valuable comments, giving their time, giving their knowledge to others, and that's the gold in LinkedIn. If you want to find it, you will, basically.
Absolutely. So next is Umar Bashir. Umar complained that I didn't pick him up. I actually copied all those URLs that were
Umar
shared
Bashir.
in the first
Yeah,
20
okay.
minutes. So obviously, because of time, we can't. I mean, if we have
Endless and
URL
young.
here, we can't really do everything. So keep
Mhm.
coming back because that's the plan. Matthias and I will continue doing it once in a week, every Friday. And even if you have improved your profile, please share that profile with us, and we'll be happy to have a look at it. And again, if you want to join in the course and you want to learn how this can be done, that's again an opportunity for everyone who is joining in to join my next course, which is starting on first Saturday of August. It's a Zoom-based group coaching, and everybody uh, who gets into the process after 4 sessions then become part of my bigger LinkedIn learning group, which I call them LinkedIn Mastermind group, in which we all learn from each other, from all those people who have been through my training programs from all over the world. So Umar Bashir is works for EY, which is one of the big
And
four.
yeah.
ACCA, he's a chartered accountant, very highly qualified person. Umar, for God's sake, I mean, there's nothing on your profile. I mean, you've been a senior auditor, you are there for the past 7 years, and you have done wonders. You are an ACCA, you are an ICAP finalist. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, if somebody like you doesn't really invest into your own profile, who
Future,
would?
not only profile. It's the
So, I
future
mean,
in
of
the
course,
end.
this is what it is, right? That's the stepping stone. That's the stepping stone. So, Umar, your profile lacks everything. Literally, you really need to work very, very hard on it. And maybe you are somebody who should really. I mean, anybody who we just spoke. You're the fourth person, I believe, in a row. One, two, three, four. All of you, you really need to focus on your LinkedIn if you want to really do you really want to expand your network. You really want to be presented as subject matter expert so other people know you. I mean, you're doing fa- phenomenally in your career, but if people don't know you, if only people who are around you know you, then what is the point? Why are we even on LinkedIn, right? That's my question. So Raisa Hamid is the next person to share. She's a zoologist, and she has some branding on her profile. Raisa, if
Yeah,
you improve your picture, because a lot of distraction behind you, uh, like zoom it so that
yeah.
you're actually talking. This is like psychology only, as if you're talking to people. Your
Okay,
about sucks, so excuse my language, but it sucks. It has nothing in it. You're seeking new opportunities. You have written seeking new opportunities. That is not even a keyword. So nobody's searching for someone who's seeking for new opportunities. Okay, and you have no network. So you are just 125 followers, which means that you have a very, very long way to go.
wait.
I stop here. Matthias, you want to add anything here?
No, again, basically, assess why you want to take this path. Why do you feel that you need it, that you want to do it? But in my personal experience, everyone should be doing this because, again, everything is changing so fast, and we all need to learn new things that it might get overwhelming trying to do it yourself. So why not get involved with a community, with other professionals from all over the world that will help you get where you want to get? Simple
Absolutely.
as that.
Oh, yes. So one of my clients who actually migrated from UAE, and he is a financial sector expert for renewable energy projects, like very large projects. And when he came to me, uh, and all of us, there's a confusion as to how LinkedIn can help them, and this is what I try to help people with. And he said, this is what my experience has been, and I said, okay, do you know anyone in this field in Canada? As simple as that. He said, no. Which means what? Which means that, I mean, if you don't know people, you can't really connect with those people. And if you don't connect with those people, how would you know what is happening in your particular field in that space? And he said, yes, that's fine. So the KPIs that we defined in the process of like working with him. So he worked with me for 3 months. Actually, it was an extended project, and we said, okay, if we could identify three people in renewable energy, three senior people in renewable energy, and if we could connect with them, that is a very good starting point for you. And he agreed. So now, again, he had patience and he was smart enough to think long term. And so I worked with him for 3 months, and we were actually able to connect with two CEOs from two renewable energy companies in Canada. Now, we did not achieve the goal for like connecting with three, but we were able to connect with two people. And that was it, right? Once he's connected, once start building, he's an expert in his own field, right? So if he talks about whatever renewable energy means, it means not, I mean, it means solar energy and wind power energy and water energy to me, but it's much more than that, right?
So,
So and he was okay. So he's got like some consultancy assignments, and he's just like flying high and enjoying what he really wanted to do, just literally in 3 to 4 months time. So that the patience has to be there, and I always tell my clients, LinkedIn is not a 100-meter sprint.
it's
If
not.
you think something will happen overnight, it may happen overnight for some people, but very few people will actually experience it. It will mostly be a marathon. So if you're there for a marathon, then you will be the winner because no one else is running in the marathon with you. You are the only one who is running the marathon. And once you are the only one who is running the marathon, or some people will steam out after 5,000 meters or whatever, you will be the winner. So the strategy, the long-term strategy of why am I on LinkedIn is really, really important. So next is Etisham. Etisham also works for a very large company, agropolymers and chemicals. He has a picture which is, uh, I mean, it's the suit, that's fine, but the picture really is not the way it should be. LinkedIn has given some insights to how your picture should look like. You should really be talking to someone. Your picture should
Yeah.
be talking to someone who lands on your profile. That's one very important thing. The other thing is your again your cover banner, Etisham. Your cover banner is beautiful, but does not mean anything. So it may mean something for you, but not for the people who are visiting your profile. You're connected with Almas Heather, who's a dear friend also, who was the president of Lahore Chamber of Commerce. I've known him for years. Um, so that's a mutual connection, by the way. But Etisham and anybody who is with me is still on this. So we all talk about our why. Yeah, our why. Why we are on LinkedIn, why we want to do what we want to do. But also think about the why from an external perspective. Why would somebody like to connect with me? Why would somebody even look at my profile? Yeah. And those whys are really, really important. And a combination of those two whys actually build the strategy. So that's my 2 cents to your profile. Again, very small, hardly anything, kind of an about summary. Um, a little bit okay network, 1,213 followers, but there's hardly any activity. So your
Yeah.
profile may just be, for LinkedIn's algorithm, it may just be a dormant profile. So that's Etisham. Usman Muhyiddin. Usman is from Somalia. He's a medical officer in a hospital. Haji Usman,
Hmm.
Ashraf. Um, so again, you have a picture with dark glasses. You know, again, I can't really see you. Your branding
Very
is,
small. Network
yeah,
is small. Yeah.
no keywords. You have like content pieces totally missing
No
about,
post at all.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Empty.
yeah, and again, totally missing branding. Although you have been your the way I look at your profile, you are a very experienced person. You should really be rocking on LinkedIn, but you don't. So that's your issue. Again, the lack of focus, lack of understanding how LinkedIn can really help you do what you really want to do on LinkedIn, and looking at from an external perspective as to why somebody would look at your profile. Omnia, you are next in the pipeline. Again, Rocco, you are very, very small network. Oh, right, Jennifer Beaumont. Jennifer is a dear friend. Um,
Well,
Again, you have no branding, no
no
keyword,
keywords. Yeah. Right.
literally no about summary, and no content strategy.
Nowhere
So
to go.
yeah, absolutely. So the thing is, you won't get anywhere literally with your LinkedIn profile. So that's really important. Where do you really want to go with your LinkedIn profile? What is your strategy? And these are some of the things that you really need to consider.
But I
Uh,
would say for anyone in this early stage, the best way to do is to learn how to do it correctly right away. And don't spend time like I did trying to learn myself how it works, because it's a waste of time in the end.
yeah,
So if you can take Hamad's course or join in, it's the best way you would actually do it right away correctly.
yeah. I mean, take my course because it is well structured, and I mean, I use my 10 years of experience in taking people from wherever you are to next level. But I mean, do something, right? If you are still thinking and you're coming back next week or even after 6 months and asking me, you will actually go behind, because a lot of those who are actually in that marathon will be far ahead of you. So a decision has to be made now. Now is the time. We have the
Yeah,
next one is who? Asad Abbas.
time is ticking and won't stop.
Absolutely. Um, Asad is from Canada in GTA, and works at his Conestoga College. He is a CPA from Canada. Asad, you know, uh, you are my first degree connections, amongst my first degree
Oh,
connections. And you know Saad Amanullah. Saad Amanullah is a very dear friend of mine. Actually, I coached Saad Amanullah on social media, how to use social media when I was in Pakistan. And by the way, Saad Amanullah, just for those people, of course, who don't know him, is an ex CEO for Gillette, Pakistan. So he was like a very senior professional. And of course, Sonia Lahi, you know him, her too. So Asad, you have a background cover image, but again, as I've been talking, that background cover image does not mean anything to anybody who lands on your profile. Yeah, it is not branding you. So you lack branding on your LinkedIn. Your picture is good. I really like it. If you, so again, I look at things in a more deeper manner. If you zoom it a little bit, and if you remove the shade, the background in your picture will be much more better. And if you can increase the resolution, it would just be great, because you're looking straight, you're smiling. This is your picture is talking to me, and this is what we want on LinkedIn. Now, the missing part is your keywords, right? And I don't
and
blame you.
activity, no activity at all.
Yeah, yeah, and no activity, obviously no activity. So, and again, your about summary is just too clumsy. I mean, if you can't, I simply say, if you can't read it, nobody can. So it actually shows, like, the lethargicness probably is the right word for it. You just use cut and paste from your resume, and that's it. Um, it's okay to fulfill the need, which is you have to fulfill the need for your LinkedIn feature, but it does not really fulfill the need for people to come and you know uh, kind of click the about click see more button. Now, the positive side of this whole story is that you have a great network. You have more than
15.
50,000 people following you. Now,
That's
are you cultivating that network? And are you, as I always say, are you a giver? How you give back is the key thing. And of course, these are some of the things that I can't see in this short space of time. But if you want to talk to me, I'm in the same time zone. I'll be more than happy to speak to you um, uh, about it, and I would really be delighted, because I work with Humber College with Dr. Yusuf. I don't know if you know him. Dr. Yusuf is also the executive director for the Chartered Institute of Marketing Management, where I volunteer. I'm kind of helping them build their business. Um, uh, Next is Mohammad Taha. He is an engineer, apparently currently probably working for PepsiCo. and studied in one of the best universities. And Taha, I mean, you've activated open to work, which is good. You don't need to put open to work in your in your
Tagline.
headline.
Mhm.
NUS 2021 does not mean anything. PepsiCo is fine. British Council, I don't know. Again, it is, and again, self-motivated individual is striving to learn and keen for opportunities means nothing to your visitor. Okay, so you really need to work hard on that. And again, you have a smaller network, and yes, so and the content. So that there are a lot of missing things, but you have tried to do something differently in the space that you have. Last one is Bilal. Bilal is from UAE, and he works in a construction company.
Human.
He's an MBA in human resource, and he's very well qualified. Bilal, you have shared your resume also, or a CV. Oh, my friend, if you can't read it, I can't read it. If I can't read it, I will never click on it. Believe me, I'm not interested. This is the psychology that people have when they land on your profile.
Please
Somehow,
don't.
they won't read it. Can you read it, Matthias? Can you read his
No,
resume?
I can't, and I wouldn't spend any second trying to read that
Yeah,
because I'm getting across a profile. I don't know that person. Why should I? Sorry, read the CV. I'm not interested. I want to know who that person is first of all.
yeah, and just one pro tip here. You all have on the right in the right hand column, you have people you may know column also. Now, the thing is that if I'm on your profile and if I see this, the chances of if I don't get any value from your profile, and I only have 3 to 5 seconds attention time span, by the way, I will immediately look at this, and that's why LinkedIn has provided it, right? That's why LinkedIn is helping me that if I don't like this profile, just go and click on any other profile in that right hand column. Do you really want that? Do you want people to leave your profile and go and like find any other interesting profile? Obviously, you don't. You want people to stick to your profile. Uh, and that's basically it. So Walid Wasti, I mean, we are reaching to the top of the hour, and we try to keep it 1 hour. So if you really want to me to review your profile, please share the link. I mean, if you don't share the link, I won't be able to spot it. And that's so ultimately there's a tool available, and the name of the tool is LinkedIn. If we don't know how to use it, is it LinkedIn's problem? And this is a question to everyone who is still with me and watching this live session. This is a question to you. Oh, Walid, I found your LinkedIn. So just bear with me. So Matthias, for you, this is Walid.
Okay.
So Walid, you have done some things right. You have used Canva for your own branding, which is a good thing to do. But if you see your keywords, you're just pumped in everything you think is the right keyword. So, you may need to reconsider that. Now, there's a confusion. I have a confusion whether, and by the way, you are connected with Adnan Siddiqui, ex IBM, because I mean, I've known Adnan for years. In fact, I mentor Adnan to go to Dubai from Pakistan when he was heading IBM Pakistan. So, um, all right, people are. My next live actually is at midday at 12 o'clock Canada Eastern Time, in which I talk. I work with a licensed immigration consultant. His name is Abdullah Bilal, and some people are popping up to ask about it. So, anyways, what confuses me whether you are offering services or you are looking for a job. So that's too confusing for me. I'm not really sure what you really want to do, and if and I mean your about somebody is also pretty intense, which is good. But your about somebody looks as if you're offering your services, but you have not. You say you're part-time freelancer by day and be a marketing student night. So it really does not. It's confusing. So you have to be absolutely clear in your own mind as to how do you want to brand yourself. It's all about how people will look at me. The why from the external perspective, as I said. If you and your certificate and everything, very difficult to read. So you know certain things about social media, which is good. But as I know, most of us who call ourselves social media people, they don't really understand how LinkedIn works. They have other social media expertise, but LinkedIn's expertise is generally quote unquote missing. And this is exactly what reflects from your profile also. You call yourself a digital marketing expert. Believe me, I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't call myself as an expert. You can never be an expert in social media. As soon as you call yourself in fact, in anything, like Matthias, tell me, you're in your mid 50s, you're such an experienced um, logistics and supply chain professional, but do you call yourself as an expert in this field? The way things are evolving around us.
No, I can only say that I have a certain level of experience, and being an expert actually means that you have to stay way, way on top of the game and really being the best of the very best. So I don't think I am the best of the very best. I'm trying to. I'm working on a daily basis to keep up with all the changes, all the overall situation all over the world. But again, it's really tough, and it's happening in all kinds of industries and roles. So
And it's fascinating also. I mean, it's so difficult to keep up with the pace. It's
it
so
is.
challenging because, and I personally feel that much younger people coming out of universities can adopt things much more quicker and they can really excel well if they plan well also. Um, but again, calling yourself as an expert, we are purely talking about from branding perspective. You are actually raising people's expectation a lot. You may not need quite a few things, So I would never call myself as an expert. We all are learning every day, and if you
Look,
yeah, please go
if
ahead.
if you look at, I don't know, Novak Djokovic, he
Yes,
has, I don't know, 4 or 5 coaches with him, a
yeah,
psychological coach, a physician, or I don't know, and everybody needs at a certain level, if he wants to become better at what he does, a coach, a mentor, learn and keep learning. It never ends, and everything is evolving so fast right now that it's a must. You have no choice. You have to learn, otherwise you're out.
yes, absolutely. And learning is not a big deal these days, right? Um,
No.
you really need to be in a learning mode to be able to learn. Opportunities are out there. I mean, of course, there are coaches out there, but there are resources that you can learn from. It all depends how far, how quickly do you want to go. And Sarah, thank you very much for joining in. Jeff shared your guide or the post, which I will also have a look. And this is great. This is great to see you there also. There is one question. There is one question which I would like to quickly address, and then we'll close the session. The question is from Fahad. Fahad, we don't have time to review your profile at this stage, but come back next week. Come early. Like we only take people who are like 10 to 15 minutes because otherwise doing 10 to 15 profile eats up everything. Um, Difference between the impact of LinkedIn profile and resume? Great question. Anybody who is with me, please listen to what I'm going to say. Uh, your where is it gone? Anyways, yeah. Your resume is a responsive document, which means you want to respond to an inquiry, which is probably a job offer or a job opening. That happens only if you see a job inquiry. Yeah, your LinkedIn is alive. It's there 24/7, 365 days, and 90% recruiters globally, they use LinkedIn for identifying candidates. They use something called LinkedIn Recruiter as a tool which is available to recruiters only, and that tool helps them identify candidates based on what their requirements are. Which means that if a recruiter is reaching out to you, you have crossed the first barrier anyways. Yeah. Whereas if you are part of a pool of applications, there may be 500 applications before you. Now look at the competition. When somebody is reaching out to you, you may have a competition with 5 people, 3 to 5 people. But if you're part of a pool, you have a competition with 500 other people. So that's what it is. That's what it is.
And what I see companies doing more and more is looking more at the soft skills of the candidates or professionals in general. And on LinkedIn, you get a chance to show who you are as a person. And first of all, you are a person. After that, you are a professional. So it's a really good way to really show how you are and make it more interesting for recruiters or companies searching for valuable people. A CV doesn't do that.
Absolutely. So you have to be out there and be seen. You have to have a
Yeah.
strategy. You really need to. If you don't focus on LinkedIn, that will be a disaster. As simple as I say. You may still be doing whatever you're doing, but the way things are evolving, the way things are happening, things can be very challenging. So with that, thank you, Matthias, for your time. I
Thank
would
you.
suggest everybody commenting and connecting here on LinkedIn. Please follow Matthias, follow me, follow everyone that you think is relevant. Follow Jeff, follow Sarah, and keep learning, and keep growing. If we don't learn, we don't grow. As simple as that. Next week, same time, same place. LinkedIn is where we will come back and we will review your profile. Now, what I request, and anybody doing it, if you tag me and Matthias in your post, I'll personally send you a gift, a small gift. Write something about what you learned today on LinkedIn. Tag me and Matthias in that post, and I'll send you a small gift for you to continue your learning about LinkedIn. So if you do that, you know you will be the winner because you are ahead in the game, and that's the way it is. So Matthias, thank you very much for joining in, and thanks everyone for joining in today. My next training batch is starting on first Saturday of August, which is not too far from now. If you want to register, please DM me. It's a fee-based program, but it's a 4 weeks program that Matthias has also attended, and it has benefited him a lot. And it's still, the best thing about Matthias is that he says after the program, I only have started doing it. And if you are in that space, it will really help you. With that, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Have a
Ahmed.
very good evening. Matthias, you stay with us while I end the broadcast.
Right. Thank you.